What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fearless Immunity Masterclass, week 4. We're getting there. So this week in the Masterclass, strengthening your immune system, the topic this week is one that I'm super excited about as a chiropractor. This is what we talk about. It's the secret weapon. It's the key. It's the missing link to most people's health. We're talking nervous system tonight. So I'm excited with what I have to share with you guys, what you're going to learn tonight. And I want to thank everybody who has been joining us for this series. This is a 6-week masterclass. I know a lot of people have been coming along the way, learning a lot. It's designed to be a completed 6-week course. And if you complete all 6 of the classes, we're going to reward you. Not only are you going to be smarter, healthier, and better because of it, we're going to reward you. You're going to get this awesome masterclass certificate. We're ordering your t-shirt that says Warrior, and it's got the sweet Max Living and BJ Palmer quote on the back. So I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to that. And it's not too late. I just had a patient last week who said they missed the first couple classes, but they caught the cancer class last week. They went back, they watched the other ones, they got caught back up, and now they're all on track to finish on time to complete the masterclass. So if that's you, don't worry, plenty of time. You might be watching on my Dr. Jake Shupe YouTube channel. You might be watching on our Freedom Family Chiropractic Facebook page. Wherever you're watching from, awesome. I see people jumping on right now. Make sure you say hi. We love to hear from you. And if maybe this is your first time that you've been joining us. If so, I'd like to introduce myself, Dr. Jake Shupe. And here in this picture, you see my beautiful wife, Dr. Christy. And we are the proud owners of Freedom Family Chiropractic, Max Living Health Center. We are located in Garner, North Carolina. We're just about 10 minutes from downtown Raleigh. And as a Max Living office, we deliver not only core chiropractic, but 5 essentials. So core chiropractic being one of them: nutrition, mindset, oxygen and exercise, minimizing toxins. These 5 essentials are part of the healthcare delivery system that we see transform people's lives. And just personally, I've watched this transform my health, my family's health. A little bit of background: I found chiropractic school in high school. It helped me overcome injury, play injury-free football, helped my performance, helped me get a scholarship to play football in college, or be recruited to play football, helped me overcome allergies, overcome a serious back injury in college. It's why I've watched it help my mom overcome migraines, come off 3 different medications, 2 of them being antidepressants that she was on for 15 years. I watched it help my dad get off blood pressure, lose weight. He overcame plantar fasciitis. He used to walk with a terrible limp for months. I watched it help my wife overcome severe panic attacks and debilitating anxiety, and countless thousands of other patients that have gotten their health back, got off medications, and are living a Max Living lifestyle. So that's the goal for all of our patients, and many of you watching across the country. I'm excited to go into tonight's topic, especially moving forward from last week. We had our cancer class. What is it? How it works? Ways to naturally kill cancer. So that was last week. Week 2 was viruses and immune system. Week 1 was intro to the 5 essentials. So I encourage you, go back, plug into those. And as we move forward tonight, as always, I encourage you to engage, put your comments in there. If you heard something good, we'd love to hear your recap or your thoughts, something that you learned, maybe 1 or 2 of your takeaways that you're going to implement, because knowledge with action is going to help you get the results that you're hoping for. All right. So we're talking about the nervous system. So first I'm going to explain. We're going to kind of go back to biology 101 a little bit here with the nerve system. I don't know about you, but I think I remember I was in like 5th or 6th grade the first time that I heard this. So we're going to go back, but then we're going to catapult way farther forward because I got some sweet stuff to share tonight. So your nervous system is a network of nerve cells and fibers which sends nerve impulses between parts of the body, right? So these nerve cells, they're fibers that send messages to these different parts of the body. There's 2 main parts of the nerve system. We're going to go over that. But just to give you an idea of how important this system is, right? Depending on how you categorize them, there's like 10 different organ systems. There's 10 different systems that run your body. I'm gonna list them out here too. Your nervous system, respiratory system, digestive system, cardiovascular, urinary, endocrine, musculoskeletal, integumentary, lymphatic/immune system, and your reproductive system. So we got all these amazing systems that can run your body and help you be alive and healthy. And in page 4 of Gray's Anatomy, it says this: the nervous system controls and coordinates all of the organs and structures of the human body. How many? All the organs and structures of the human body are controlled by the nervous system. That's how important, that's the power. That's why we're having a whole class tonight just talking about the nerve system and what you can do about it. So there's 2 main parts of the nerve system. And you've got your central nervous system called the CNS, and then you've got your peripheral nervous system, the PNS. So the central nerve system on this picture right here, that's the brain. You're going to see it right in the middle. That's like the pinkish reddish color. Brain stem and spinal cord going straight down the middle. It's in the center, right? From there, you've got the peripheral nerves that branch off to the organs, the blood vessels. They're going to your limbs. They go to your arms, your legs. But it all starts with the brain and the central nerve system at the core focus. And this is what helps you adapt to your environment. Like literally everything that you do, your nervous system governs. So how you remember things, how you move your body, how you communicate with people, how you interact over the course of your healthy lifestyle is dependent on how well your nerves, even the decisions and the behaviors of yourself are dependent on how healthy that your nerve system is. So it's pretty cool, right? Well, now that we've kind of given this synopsis of this is what your nerve system does, this is how important it is, what do you do with that information, right? So how do I even take care of my nervous system? How does this affect my life? Because if it's really as important as you say that it is, Dr. Jake, then what's the takeaway? Like, what's the practical application? Well, I'll tell you what, for me in 5th grade, and like most students, nothing. They tell you all this cool stuff about how amazing it is, and then they give you no follow-up information, which makes us think what? It makes us think and believe that they're full of crap, that it's not really that important, because if it was that important, there'd be something that we would do about it to make sure that our nerve system was functioning the way that it was supposed to, right? Let me give you an example. Like when you're a kid and you first start getting teeth growing in, your first little chomper or couple chompers, your caregivers, most of the time your parents, what do they give you or stick in your mouth? a toothbrush, right? And oftentimes they'll teach you that it's super important to be taking care of your teeth. And so they'll jam the toothbrush and all, get into this new routine morning and night and kicking and screaming and fussing with kids. Because why? Because it's important for their health. So that's the tool. You teach them to brush their teeth. You teach them to floss their teeth, right? Well, it's like when you were a kid, like, did anybody like force you to take care of your spine, teach you how important it was, give you the tools to be able to do that? Unfortunately, for most of us, the answer is no. And that's what my job is. My goal is to change that, because if it's as important as we say it is, which it is, it's about 1,000 times more important than a pretty smile and healthy teeth and preventing gingivitis, which I'm all about. Believe me, my mom's a dental hygienist. I grew up knowing how important it is to take care of my teeth. I'm all for that. But what I'm saying is we've got to take this information and teach people how to actually take care of their nerve system. So if the nervous system controls everything, how do we take care of it? Well, it starts with the spine. The spine directly influences your nervous system. So the way to take care of it is through your spine. It controls every single organ, tissue, cell in your body. We've got to take care of our spine. So let's look at the spine right now. This is a normal position of the spine. So this one in the middle right here, this is the spine looking straight from the front. Your spine has to be straight up and down. There's 24 movable vertebrae. You've got typically 7 cervical vertebrae, so 7 in the neck, 12 in the mid-back, the thoracic spine, 5 in the lumbars. Has to be straight up and down. The hips have to be level. And a lot of people know that, but what most people don't know is that from the side view, it has to have 3 proper curvatures. When you're standing, it's got to be a 45-degree curve in your lower back, your mid-back, and then in your neck. And when your spine has the curves from the side and it's straight from the front and it's able to move freely, I mean, it's not rigid and restricted and stuck. If it's aligned properly, moving freely, that's when your brain is able to send the messages down your spinal cord across those nerves to heal your body at 100%. That's when your nervous system is functioning optimally, is when your spine is healthy, aligned, and moving freely. So this is what we are looking for. And I want to read this quote to you, because this quote at the top of the slide here was from Hippocrates, who's known as the father of modern medicine. He said this many, many, many years ago. I don't remember how many years ago, but it's probably hundreds, if not 1,000 years ago. He said, look well to the spine for the cause of disease. This dude knew that there was something very important about the spine, and that many health problems can be traced back to spinal levels. And so that's how important that our spine is. And now I'm going to share with you some awesome research that shows the benefit of taking care of your spine in chiropractic. So I'm going to read this, the title of this study, and don't, I know there's some big words in there, but don't freak out. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm here for you. I got you. Okay, so this is research by Dr. Heidi Havoc. And this is the type of research that's super sweet, because, there's been decades of research saying like, hey, chiropractic care helps with back pain. It helps with headaches. It helps with neck pain. And it's like, of course it does. We've known that for years. We do not need another study telling us that chiropractic care helps with pain. We know that. We need more studies like this that show all these other amazing things that taking care of your spine and nerve system could do. So I'm going to break this down. It's called, the title of this study is called Manipulation of Dysfunctional Spinal Joints Affects Sensory Motor Integration in the Prefrontal Cortex. Cool. So what does that actually mean? Well, manipulation, we chiropractors, or real chiropractors, we hate that word. It's adjustment. It's more specific. So adjustments, spinal adjustments affect sensory motor integration, specifically in the prefrontal part of your brain, prefrontal cortex. So adjustments affect the function of your brain, right? Let me give you the details on the study. What they did, they took 19 people, subclinical pain people. This is important. These people did not have pain. Remember, we've been talking about how chiropractic is more about brain than it is about pain. So these people did not have pain. They broke them into two groups, a control group, which got like a sham adjustment, so no real adjustment, and then they got the chiropractic adjustment group. So they split them into two groups, and what they did is they put a EEG cap on there to monitor brain activity before and after the intervention. No differences, no changes were found in the control group, which makes sense. They didn't do the adjustment. There shouldn't be changes, or much of them, right? No changes were found, significant differences were found in the control group, but with the adjustment group, there was a 31.3% change in the amplitude of the somatosensory processing in the prefrontal cortex of the brain. I think that's pretty awesome. But you might be wondering, okay, what is that? Again, what does that mean? Well, let me tell you what it means, because let me tell you what your prefrontal cortex does. Well, your prefrontal cortex of your brain, it's involved in the executive functions like this: problem solving, achieving goals, planning tasks, focus and attention, memory, responding to stimuli in a changing environment. Do those sound important? Yeah, to like every human being on the planet, pretty much. So along with that, improve joint position sense, which helps decrease injury because you know where your body is in time and space. Improve reaction times, motor control, lower limb strength, self-control, and avoiding risky behaviors. This is what your prefrontal cortex controls. So this is not just about pain. This is about literally every human being who wants to be achieving their goals, making better decisions, having better memory, better focus and attention and problem solving, and basically having a better life because your brain's working better from chiropractic adjustments. Boom! That's pretty awesome stuff right there. So take that, share that with your friends if you want to. That's another thing too. Like, hey, if you know somebody that needs to hear this, click the share button, send a link to the video, whether on YouTube or Facebook, pull somebody over from your household, say, hey, you got to watch this, you got to hear this. One of our core values is we help others. And one of the ways you can help others is really simple, just hitting the share button, sending this to a friend that you know could really use it. Another piece of research that I want to go over tonight is how chiropractic affects your immune system. So, as you know, many people have been freaking out this year or concerned or whatnot about getting a virus, certain viruses. Well, I think immune function is an important thing to be looking at. So let's take a look at this study by Dr. Ronald Perot, PhD. So let me give you a little bit of background on Dr. Perot. He was the chief of cancer prevention research at New York University, and a professor at New York University and Preventive Medicine Institute. And what he did was he took 107 people, individuals who had been under chiropractic care for 5 years or more, so some great long-term chiropractic patients. And in his 3-year observation, he found that chiropractic patients had a 200% greater immune competence than those who did not get adjusted. Not than sick people, just 200% stronger than people that are considered quote unquote healthy, but just were not getting adjusted. And then compared to people who had cancer and other serious diseases, they had a 400% greater immune competence by regular chiropractic care. And that sounds like something that every human being would want to be having their immune system and their health functioning at an optimal level by optimizing their nervous system through taking care of their spine with chiropractic. Pretty cool stuff. That one you can impress your friends with tomorrow by sharing some of this research with. So we've talked about some cool things. We've talked about what the nervous system is and why it's important. We have talked about what the spine should look like from the front and from the side, what the ideal alignment is, at least basically. Now we've learned some cool research. Let's talk about how do we get subluxation. So the spine's supposed to be in this normal position. How does it get, unquote, misaligned, or what we call subluxation? Well, there's three ways that you can subluxate the spine: thoughts, traumas, and toxins. We call them the 3 T's: thoughts, traumas, and toxins. And tonight we're going to mostly want to talk about these traumas part of it. And a lot of people can understand how a trauma can misalign the spine, like these major traumas: car accidents, slips, falls, sports injuries. You got a concussion, you fell off a ladder, you fell down the stairs. I hear about people falling off ladders all the time, falling downstairs way too often. But the thing is that at least those major traumas, people realize that like something bad happened, or they need to, it's like a serious wake-up call. Those can cause subluxation. And just to describe that, subluxation is the misalignment and the abnormal motion of the spine that interferes with the nerves, thus causing dis-ease or dysfunction in the body. So misaligned, abnormal moving spine, interfering with the nerves, leading to dis-ease in the body. So these traumas, these slips and falls can cause it. But you know what's more dangerous, I think? The small, repetitive micro traumas. These are the things that literally are what I call the silent killers, because they happen little by little and most people don't even notice them. It's the poor sleeping positions that you've had for 30 years of your life. It's you're sitting at a desk all day at your computer. You're on your cell phone too much with your head looking down. You're on tablets, video games. It's just poor postural things. Sleeping on the recliner. It's the I'm not being stereotypical, but it's the old man that sleeps on the recliner with their neck down in this position, stretching the spinal cord. It's the kids on the cell phone like this, all texting all day long. You maybe start at your computer like this at the beginning of the day, but by the end of the day or a couple hours later, you're like this. And these micro traumas that cause repetitive stresses day after day after day that lead to your muscles change, your ligaments change. It puts stress on the spine. It leads to degeneration. It leads to arthritis. It leads to spinal decay. Literally, your spine starts to break down. And it's the decay process as these subluxations stay there. And that's more common of how subluxations occur. And that's why, because of our technology and the poor posture and other things too, like the backpacks on the one shoulder, women, the heavy bags, the heavy purses, the high heels, these things that they're doing cause these subluxations, and over time left there lead to a lot of times symptoms, illness, and other degenerative disease. And that's how they occur more often than you combine that with a major trauma and you're just asking for trouble. So how do we know if we have subluxation? Well, if you're alive, chances are you have subluxation. And let me just explain what I mean by this, because sometimes I get asked, they're like, Dr. Jake, like, have you ever seen a perfect spine? And the answer is no, because life makes it nearly impossible to have a perfect spine. It's like asking the dentist if you've seen somebody come in that their teeth are perfectly straight, there's no cavity, no gum issue, no plaque, no calculus, no nothing. It's just like perfect. And it's just like that. It's like that rarely, if ever, happens, especially with the spine even having more complexities to it. Like almost every single person has some level of subluxation in their spine. And we can tell the way that you know if you have subluxation and the developing the degree and severity of it is to get the testing done. Do an examination, full spinal examination, check your posture, your range of motion. We feel up and down the spine, but still to this day, with all the technology that we have, the most definitive tool that we have to detect subluxation is taking any necessary x-rays. X-rays show us where the subluxations are. And just to give you one example here, this is one x-ray. Now we take a multitude of different x-rays of the spine to remember, we're not just looking at bones. We got to look at the bones, but the reason that we care about the bones so much is because of what's inside, or what those bones are protecting, which is your spinal cord and your nerve system. And we know if the spine is off, the nerves are off. So we've got to look at the spine. So this is the most important x-ray that we take right here. After we've done an exam and we've determined x-rays are necessary, this is one of them. So what this x-ray should look like, in fact, this view is so important, they call it the arc of life. And you should have a 45, you see this green line, there should be a 45-degree curvature in your neck. This one's at 45 degrees, it's perfect. And this red line, it drops down from the pituitary gland. This red line drops straight down, should touch the front of the bones in the neck. And this one does, so that means the head's perfect, the head's sitting up over the top of the shoulders. Now, if this red line were to shift forward, meaning that the head or the skull is forward, that person has what we call forward head posture. And that is not good. You want a 45-degree curve, and you want zero forward head posture. Also, these top two bones need to be angled up at 18 degrees, kind of like, let's see if I can do it with my hands here. I'm having a hard time. Anyways, they need to be parallel, like this. Parallel, angled up at 18 degrees, like this. And these ones are. So this is a normal, healthy side view of the neck. And this is how, when we get x-rays taken, we're measuring them down to the degree, each individual, the severity of the subluxation and what it's doing to their nervous system. So now that we've determined if there is what severity of subluxation is in the spine, then we develop a customized plan. This is how we actually fix it. It's through chiropractic care and specific spinal home exercises. So you know you're going to a good chiropractor when you've came in, they've done testing and necessary x-rays, and then based on those x-ray listings, they developed a customized plan with a proper amount of frequency, time frame, and time to follow up with those x-rays, do either follow-up testing to make sure that not only that the person is feeling better, but to see if that spine is actually changing, and then changing the recommendations from there. You couple that along with spinal home exercises, and you've got a corrective chiropractic plan that's going to help you to not only take pressure off the nerve system and function better, but to truly change the muscles, the posture, the structure of the spine to correct it and help you to keep it that way so it doesn't just end up in the same position that it was when you first came in a year or two earlier than that. That's how you know you're going to a great chiropractic office getting corrective care. So you've got your adjustments, right? Along with that, you might be wondering, now if you're a patient in my office, you know how much we talk about the importance of these spinal home exercises, so much so that you may get annoyed with how much we talk about it. And so if anybody is, that means we're doing our job, right? Because that's a sign of repetition, and repetition breeds more diligence in taking things seriously. So along with your adjustments, you got your spinal home exercise. So this is just one of the ones that we use in our office. It's the wobble cushion. So if you walk into any Max Living office, one of the first things you'll see in the warm-up area is going to be these discs or cushions on all these chairs. And this is where you start to, along with the neck traction, neck stretches, the wobble cushion is one of the primary ways that we warm up the muscles, the tissues, the ligaments, the discs between the bones to help prepare the spine for a better adjustment. That's in the office, but people use these at home as well. The best time to do these are right early in the morning before you're doing anything, like first thing in the morning to prepare your spine for the day, and then right before bed, before you're going to sleep. So one of the things, not only do these help warm up muscles and ligaments and kind of like stretch you out, but when you wobble, you're going through these 3 ranges of motion. It's literally pumping hydration, pumping nutrients in and out of the disc spaces, the cushions between the bones, to help prevent degeneration, to prevent disc decay and arthritis. And we've even seen, and some people will argue this, but I've seen it. I see it every month. I've literally taken x-rays and re-x-rays where I've seen discs, the cartilage and the cushion between the bone, regenerate, rehydrate, and actually become thicker and heal and repair again. Like, that's how powerful these spinal home exercises are. So when you go to a corrective care chiropractor, not only do they put together specific adjustments based off your x-ray listings, so they're doing it the correct way, but they put together these exercises with a sheet that you take home that's also based off your x-rays. Doing these together is how you see real spinal change happen, which is super cool. So what now? What next? Well, if you're currently already getting chiropractic care, awesome. That is something that I encourage that you do as a healthy lifestyle for the rest of your days, for the rest of your life. So getting adjusted, doing your spinal exercises till you're 100 years old. Maybe you're doing a good job with your adjustments right now, but you've really not taken your home care seriously. That would be like somebody who goes to the dentist every 6 months for their cleaning, but they never brush their teeth, or they brush their teeth like once a week, right? You are still becoming very susceptible to problems in your spine developing. Also, maybe you're somebody who does pretty good with the home care, but maybe you've been missing some of your adjustments and you've been doing a poor job managing your schedule. Every time you miss an adjustment and you don't make it up within that week, your spine is literally going backwards. And the more time that these restrictions and subluxations stay in your spine, cause maladaptive negative effects. And that's why myself and my team, we take your spine, your health, and your subluxations very seriously. And so the best 2 things that you can do if you're already going somewhere great is to make sure you're making your visits on a regular basis for your agreed upon frequency, doing your spinal home care exercises on a daily basis. It doesn't have to take long, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and you can knock them out. And then maybe you're somebody right now who's watching this who you've never had your spine and nerve system checked. Like this is maybe this is the first time you've ever heard somebody even explain it like this, and you're just blown away like, wow, I need to do this. Or maybe you are somebody who did in the past, like maybe you got in a car wreck when you're 18, and then like just like the insurance said they'd cover it, so you went in, a while back, and then like you've never had any care since then. Or maybe you were going to a good place, but you just haven't been there for a while because life got crazy and it just got in the way. Well, whichever of those three that you are, if you've not had your a spinal evaluation done within this last year and you're not going to a chiropractor, that is definitely your next step. You schedule your first appointment, you come into the office, you do the testing, the exam, the x-rays. If you are in the Raleigh area, like with anywhere within an hour of downtown Raleigh, you can schedule your first appointment. You go to freedomfamilychiro.com. What that's going to do, it's going to take you straight to our website. This page is going to look like this. When you get to the page, you're going to scroll down. And when you scroll down on the right, you're going to see this box. And all you have to do is you just put in your name, your first name, your last name, your email, your phone number. Typically, that first appointment to get the testing done, it's $110. If you go to our website, there's a special on there. You can get the whole first visit. It's only $60. And when you put in your information, hit this button right here. It says claim the offer. One of our team members will reach out to you. They can answer any questions that you might have. They can help you pick out a time and get set up for your first appointment so that you can start your journey in optimizing your health, optimizing your nerve system, hitting the goals that you want to be able to hit this year. So that's if you're in the area. Again, we're 10 minutes from downtown Raleigh. We're in Garner. Maybe you're watching this in Wisconsin. Maybe I got a lot of friends and family in Wisconsin. Maybe you're watching this in Texas or Wilmington, and you're looking for a great place, but let's face it, that you're not making the drive to Raleigh. It's okay. We got you covered. You can go to maxliving.com. You just type in your address or your zip code, and there's like a find a location, find a doc point on the website. Just type it in, and the nearest one will pop up. Otherwise, you can message me, make a comment. I'd love to help direct you to a great place. You can go wherever you're living across the globe. We'll find somebody that's closest to you. But again, if you are in the area, just go to freedomfamilychiro.com and we will get you set up and taken care of. And I want to share something right now. I want to share a testimony of a lady who came into the office. Her name is Stacy. And I want to show you what is possible with Corrective Chiropractic. Before I do that, though, I want to go back to this normal x-ray, what the spine, this most important x-ray, because it's closest to the brain, the central nervous system. This is a normal, healthy side view of the neck, 45-degree curve. Top two bones are parallel at 18 degrees, and heads over the shoulders. That's what it's supposed to look like. Well, I had a lady named Stacy. She came into the office. She was having terrible headaches. She was having migraine headaches as well. She was having horrible lower back pain. And so we got some testing done. We took x-rays. This first x-ray on the left, this was her spine when I first met her. Literally, take a look. What's one of the things that you notice on this? Her neck completely straight. She's lost almost 100% of the curvature in her neck. The other thing you'll notice, see that red line? Nearly an entire inch out in front of her shoulders, 24 millimeters. That was putting 9 pounds of tension on her spinal cord. No wonder she was struggling. Headaches, migraines. She starts getting adjusted. I put a plan together. She starts getting adjusted 3 times a week for 8 weeks, doing her home care exercises as well. The x-ray on the right, this is 8 weeks later, literally less than 2 months later. We've seen her curve go from 1 degree up to 25. We saw our forward head posture improve from 24 millimeters down to 7. That literally took about, what? Let's see, how many pounds of tension off of the spinal cord? 7, 14, like 6, took like 6, 7 pounds of tension off of her spinal cord, which is amazing. So guess what? Headaches going away, migraines gone, lower back pain significantly improved 2 months later. And not only is she feeling better, because you can get people feeling better pretty quick. Within 4 to 6 weeks, a lot of times people are feeling much better, but it takes time to truly correct a spine like this. And this is what's possible. This is what some people even say, hey, you can't really do that. Well, we see this happen every single week in our clinic, seeing true structural changes with the adjustments and the spinal exercises. So maybe that's you. Maybe you got a family member that's dealing with pain. But maybe it's not pain. Maybe it's digestive issues. Maybe they want to lose weight. Maybe you're not sleeping at night. Maybe you're just stressed and you're anxious. Any symptom that you can imagine has walked through our doors. Any symptom that you can imagine can be coming from spinal subluxations. And what's the only way to know? You got to get the testing done. You got to get your spine checked out and take care of it for as long as you live. Now, the good news is it gets easier and easier as you go along. And that's the benefit of taking care of your spine at an early age before these problems even develop in the first place. So before we wrap up tonight, again, if you are in the area and you want to schedule your first appointment, you can go to our website, freedomfamilychiro.com. If you are outside of the area, go to maxliving.com. We'll help you out. And I want to tell you what's coming up next week. We've got we're only a couple weeks away from finishing the Masterclass series. Next week is Next Level Nutrition and Detoxification. So we're going to be going into that. That's an exciting one. And everybody, I mean, nutrition is probably one of our most popular topics. And so we'll dive into that. Excited for that. I want to leave you with this quote before we head out. Remember, next Tuesday, 6 p.m., same time, same place, YouTube and Facebook. I want to leave you with this. Medicine is about disease and what makes people die. Chiropractic is about life and what makes people live. Chew on that this week. I'll see many of you in the office. Talk to you soon. Again, leave your feedback. Say hi. Tell me what you learned tonight. We love you guys. We'll see you next week for the nutrition portion, week 5.